So it's time for another trip down the road to our home promotion. Three Ropes Wrestling is back, and we're better than ever. Or at least we better be. Our last show didn't even gain us a measly point in the popularity scale, and we're still unknown to the tons of wrestling fans in our neighborhood, let alone the world. We're sure as shit not getting any Google searches from anyone else, so yeah, there's that. On the flip side, though, we did set up our first ever feud, a simple and easy to follow feud between Rick Fuller, our heel, and Lance Storm, our babyface, to start our promotion in the right direction. You see, last week our boy Lance here was injured after winning a main event match against Rick Fuller. Now this week, the same man who stopped the attack, Ace Steel, steps in to defend his friend and take on Rick Fuller. So yeah, that is our main event tonight. Rick Fuller heating up quickly to be the most hated man in our company against Lance Storm's friend, Ace Steel. All that and more this week on Three Ropes Wrestling. And oh yeah, before I forget, please be sure to like and subscribe to the channel as we are trying to hit 100 subscribers before the summer. You can help that out today, so I do appreciate it if you do. Thank you to everyone else who has already joined. Thank you so much. Now, let's get to the video. Three Ropes Wrestling is back. Another Sunday and another day of our home promotion, Three Ropes Wrestling. In the last video that we will take, our last show, should I say, we will take a look at that. We'll also look at some WWF, WCW news, and try to book a show here today, as well as look at some of the finances. So kind of want to update everybody with the promotion, how everything is going, and then we will get into a show. Now, in the last show, Three Ropes Wrestling presented Ground Floor, and this was it. Black Dragon staying strong and defeating Reno Riggins. We kept Black Dragon strong. Really just a good way to start the promotion off with a gimmicky win. So Black Dragon a win there. Taylor and Storm, the team of Chaz Taylor and Devin Storm, defeated the Intimidators, which is the team of Troy Mest and Mark Mest. As you can see, that didn't really get a great rating. Shane Helms debuted in the ring before his match, though. He did cut a promo, and it needed a little help. So did his work with Jimmy Jannetty. But Ace Steel also defeated Axel Rotten. That did get a good 25 rating, which is decent for this level. And Lance Storm defeated Rick Fuller in our main event, but Rick Fuller then attacked Lance Storm's leg after the match, and he put Lance Storm out for a little bit, so a couple weeks. So that is the story there. That was our first ever show, Three Ropes Wrestling Ground Floor. Tomorrow night we have Three Ropes Wrestling live in the Rock. Rochester, New York will be the home for Three Ropes Wrestling on that evening. Tomorrow night, January 26th, that is a Sunday. And here's the people that we have not debuted in, or on our roster, should I say. Kodiak Bear, Mabel, Max Muscle, who, let's look at the Kodiak Bear real quick. Kodiak Bear is a heel. He does have some skills, right? And he does have some brawling ability. So it's not that we wanted to leave the Kodiak Bear off of the match. It's more, or the show. It's more that, we just ran out of time. So Kodiak is going to probably be debuting here very shortly. Mabel and Bobby Knight are the Harlem Knights. They are also known as Men on a Mission in WWF, but not yet. So we have got them for 20 each. They haven't debuted yet. I didn't want to put two tag teams on the first show, two tag team matches, because of cost, really. And because we really didn't have a long show, it was like an hour, so you want one tag team match in that hour. You don't really, at least for my booking, don't really want two. Maybe if it's a big match, but right now with our finances where they are, I think we should probably just stick to one tag team. That's why they didn't debut. That's what I'm getting at. Stevie Wonderful is going to be somebody who probably needs to debut for a while, but won't, We got him for the backstage doing some road agent work and things like that. So we're going to see, he's never going to be a wrestler. And until we get a television deal, he's not going to be a commentator. Honestly, even when we do get a television deal, I really don't see him being much of anything. Now, we do not have any active title belts right now, and in this next show we are at least going to announce how or when or what, announce something about the title. My philosophy on titles is I wanted to get a couple matches down first, kind of get some momentum, get the fans to know who the wrestlers are before worrying about the titles, and then we introduce the title when people can, cheer for whoever they want to cheer for. So we are slowly introducing titles. We will have a very minimal amount of titles, probably just one promotional championship and maybe a tag team championship, or most definitely a tag team championship. So we will be doing that in this save or in this video, and yeah, we'll go on from there. Now let's look at the news real quick, because I didn't update this the last time. And in the WWF, Primetime Wrestling was held in Raleigh. That's great. The Barbarian is now in the Inner Circle, a chief enforcer in the WWF, as is Bobby Heenan, but he will be in the Inner Circle as a locker room leader. Chief David Strongbow is probably set to retire fairly soon. He's 63. So he's probably set to retire. I mean, he's a retired worker, of course, but I'm saying just retired from the business altogether. He's been in it 44 years, and he still is a decent road agent, but yeah, he's probably on his way out. That's why they're making the change. WWF and Capital Sports reach a talent trade agreement. That is a big deal. A big deal for Capital Sports, who really, based in Puerto Rico, almost $1 million to their name, but they do have a couple good wrestlers here. Eddie Gilbert's one that snaps off. Yeah, there's some good ones. Buddy Landell's in this promotion. The Patriot, a couple big names that I know. Luna Vachon, I know a bunch of other ones, but really not, huge. But that is a big get for Capital Sports, who will now be able to use WWE talent on their show, which is very good. Let's see who they have as far as Carlos Colon might show up in WWE, in WWF, should I say, at this point. Dick Murdoch, I don't see going. He's a little old. Greg Valentine works both anyway, so yeah, the WWE or WWF, I will do that a lot. WWF and Capital Sports will agree to a talent trade agreement. That is pretty big. The Carrier Dome was held in Syracuse, and I believe it was the Macho Man that won that. Let's see. Yes, the Macho Man Randy Savage won the Royal Rumble. What a weird match between Flair and Knobbs, and what a great score between those two. Wow. You got a better deal than Hitman and Dino Bravo. So that's pretty significant, I think. Marty Jannetty extending his deal, as is Nikolai Volkov, as is General Adnan Haku, Greg Valentine, and all the other jobbers on the WWF list. We won't go through all the companies, obviously. Let's just do one more, and that is WCW. We see the WCW is expanding everywhere. I mean, it's expanding as much as it possibly can and trying to take out the WWF's world global dominance. So we'll see if that can happen, but WCW is certainly making strides to do that, getting coverage in all areas, Mexico, France, everywhere that they possibly can. So that's a big one. Dick Murdoch and Dick Slater, both hired by WCW. Kazmaier and Trout, both jobbers in WCW, will extend their deals. And Ron Simmons promoted to Inner Circle as a chief enforcer. Ole Anderson, not released, but at least removed from the booking team. So that is something I would have gone further with. And if you do want to see things that I go further with in WCW, we do have a World Championship Wrestling save game here on 3 Ropes, so check that out as well. It would be awesome if you did. Having a lot of fun over there as well. Okay, now that is the news. WWF, WCW, Global Wrestling, Tug Taylor, nothing really big. Chris Walker, the time slot change I'm interested in to a lesser time slot on. So GWF is probably going to graveyard shift, moving their deal there. But yeah, that is the news. Nothing really major going on at the moment for that. But for us, we will have a show tomorrow night live in the Rock. I wanted to look at the merchandise here. We don't really have any popularity, so we don't need to upgrade this yet, but I just wanted to look at this. All levels of merchandise operation is virtually non-existent. So the wrestlers bring, their stuff. We have a table for them. That's kind of what's going on. At live shows, you can expect to make about 20 cents per fan in attendance. Yikes. Now, upgrading in a normal manner would cost $50 a week. Rapid would be that. It would double our merchandise at live shows, basically, more than double it, and $1 per popularity point region, which would give us nothing from mail order. So, not worth it yet, especially not for $125 a week. That is a lot of money, but $500 a month, when we can afford it, we will jump in on here. I just kind of wanted to look and see what we could do with that, and the answer really is not much. So that is what we're going to be doing. We're going to be booking the show live in the Rock. Rochester, New York is getting its first taste of 3 Ropes Wrestling, and excited to book this show. The first show that we did was Ground Floor, and that was a good show, but we were just trying to get our feet under us, trying to give our fans a simple storyline where a heel attacks a face. In this case, it's Rick Fuller attacking Lance Storm, and we're setting up Lance Storm to be our babyface, and Rick Fuller is our current number 1 heel right now. It's a simple storyline where he got mad that he didn't win, and he was a bad sport, took it out on Lance Storm. We don't want to do anything too involved right now. The only reason is because we're just trying to get our fans used to pro wrestling, used to 3 Ropes pro wrestling, and get an idea of the lay of the land, so to speak. So we are going to throw our second show here tonight. It will be an hour long, I believe. Let me look, because the last time I did this, it ended up being like 2 hours long. Okay, so it's going to be 1 hour long. We are going to brand it as a special because it's not going to be a reoccurring. However, I am going to get a reoccurring show, or we will get a venue that we can run out of every Friday or Saturday or something like that, kind of like the territory days. That way we can go a little faster. I'm going 1 week at a time here with this save game, only because this is the namesake promotion, and as that, like if you go to my WCW save game, it's going to be, the first video was 1 show. I'm just trying to get used to all this. The next video will be 1 show again, and then every other show will be 2 B shows and an A show of television, and then maybe a pay-per-view, or maybe that'll be a special. I don't know, but what I'm getting at is we will have a weekly television show here, and it's only going to be 1 show per video. That way, in a year, when I'm still doing this channel, I look back and I can say, okay, we are only a year ahead in real time, and this is what we've done, and we're slowly burning this, so to speak. So that's why only 1 show per video in these ones, but either way, it's going to be a special live in the Rock, because we're not going to be in Rochester every single time. We're just trying to run the gambit of New York State a little bit right now and run around the state. Try to expand our awareness in the tri-state area. So, and in this game, you can do that. Obviously, you don't have to stay in one town. The positioning will be the exact date. It will be the 26th, which is today. Yes, it is active. The intent is just to be normal. No touring. Now, I would love to give free tickets to everybody and really increase our popularity. However, we don't have enough money to do that. We have to keep our losses at a minimum. So we have to keep our ticket pricing at default. It's obviously not a seasonal finale. We're going to be doing all the booking. Live music would be nice. Eventually, I think when we get to a regular indie level, maybe that becomes an option. But for right now, local band will not be an issue. I know that it does give you a little bit of an upgrade and an upgrade boost, but at $250, we should probably be spending that on talent, not on bands. So we're not going to do that for a little bit, really, until we can afford to bring in a $250 talent and have a band. Special set will not be necessary. However, you could spend up to $2 million and then put us out of business immediately. A fixed area region, no. Okay. So everything seems good. I will create post-show, really. We'll create a logo for this, but for right now, it's just going to be an event. As you can see, 3 ropes ground floor was January 11th. This is the 26th. Like I said, I'll make another a logo for this one, but right now I am going to book the show. Let's see here. And we are going to go into our pre-show things before I do, and then I will book the show off camera and come back and present the show, let you know what I was thinking about, that kind of thing. Now, the night off. There's a lot of people that I know, like, we're not going to need Lance Storm tonight, so we're going to give him the night off. We're going to need Ace Steel. We might need Axel Rotten. I'm just getting rid of the people I know we're probably not going to use. And really, it's really just Lance Storm. Because I don't know yet who I'm going to use here. But eventually, probably the next show, the show after that, I'll get my act together and I'll start booking this a little earlier. That way we can save money on the travel. If you don't give the people the day off, then they're assumed to be backstage. They're assumed that they came in for the show, so you have to pay travel. I'll save on Lance Storm. I don't know anybody else that we don't need right now, so I'm going to keep as is and give my creativity a little bit of a leash so that I don't have to worry about it. But that's the only one we're going to give the night off to right now. Now, we are in Rochester at the... I don't want to be at the Community War Memorial. I might just put this as a generic venue and then do... Because I don't think in any of these Rochester has... Let's just go through this quick. I think the only one in Rochester is the Community War Memorial. We're not going to be renting that for $10,000. So we're just going to pick a generic venue and pretend that it is in Rochester. Now, the booking team meeting, it's us, David Marquez, that's it. And we do get a decent rating. After all the bonuses and penalties were applied, the meeting generated a total of 90, which is good. For our level right now, 90 will get us a decent haul. It will get us one of two things or two things, right? It will get us two things on this list. As long as one of those things is a 40. So it'll get us an angle and a storyline and a character idea, and then it will allow us to add these, right, for 70. So what we're going to do, oh, no, it's not, because it's 90, and then it requires 20 an hour. We're going an hour, so we'll be back on 70. Okay, after all that Scott Steiner math, creative finish, I think, is what I'm going to do. It's likely to succeed, and Kodiak Bear will be getting it. We will be taking that. and running with it. So I think we're probably going to give Kodiak a win here soon. I don't know if on this show or on the next one, but Kodiak Bear will be getting a victory here very soon. Now, our locker room incidents, nothing to report on, which is what we always like to see. So that will be good. And we will, I guess, it's always, I want to do team bonding. It's always a risk because you get somebody like Lex Luger in WCW 92 where he is off to the WWF in a couple of days and he hates everybody in WCW. It'll wreck your locker room. For this, let's just see. Okay. Strength and relationships. Good. So Steel and me have become closer, as have me and Dragon and Bobby Knight. Ace Steel and Chaz Taylor, Ace Steel and Pee Wee Moore. Black Dragon had a good talk with Kodiak Bear and Rick Fuller. Bobby Knight getting better on with his tag team partner, so that's always good. Jimmy Jannetty and Kodiak, Jimmy Jannetty and Rick Fuller. Okay, so that worked out real well. So we're going to be happy with the locker room. And now we're going to get it back into booking the show. This is where I'll do it off camera, and then I will come back and I will present the show and let you know what I was thinking booking wise. And then we'll have Three Ropes, the second show ever, live in the Rock. I'll be back right after this. I have just booked the show, Three Ropes Wrestling, live in the Rock. Rochester, New York is the place tonight to catch Three Ropes Wrestling. Now, on the show tonight, Ace Storm's going to lead off. Black Dragon against Jimmy Jannetty, Devin Storm and Troy Mest, Chaz Taylor and Mark Mest, Kodiak Bear, Reno Riggins, and Ace Steel and Rick Fuller. It's kind of a heavy match show because we have a couple wrestlers that are not able to go the full length, so we'll do that. But let's just look real quick what we have. No announcers, we don't need any, and we need one match that is going to be into the storytelling, and we will get it with this. Just give me 1 second. Don't want to show you, that way I don't give away the results real quick. So I have this under a hidden thing. Okay, now we're good. All right, now we're ready to start the show. Let's start it. The show opens with Ace Steel stepping into the ring to loud cheers. Everybody's happy that Ace Steel saved Lance Storm. So Ace Steel is probably our second best face at the moment. Pacing back and forth as he talks about watching his friend Lance Storm get taken out by Rick Fuller last show. Pointing towards the entrance and telling Fuller that tonight he finally gets him face to face, and promising the crowd that Fuller's going to get punched in the face as payback for what happened to Storm. So a 24 segment rating. Ace Storm did struggle when going off script. So the promo there didn't come as effective as it needed to be. Stevie Wonderful could have done better. He has a very high ceiling and a very low floor, so he hit the floor on this one, but the angle did get the crowd hotter, and it did get the show off to a strong start. So a hot and rising crowd after this promo here by Ace Steel, setting up the main event. Now we move on. Black Dragon and Jimmy Jannetty. Black Dragon's going to defeat Jimmy Jannetty and hand Jimmy Jannetty his second loss in Three Ropes Wrestling in as many shows. Black Dragon on the other end is going to pick up as many wins as Three Ropes Wrestling has had shows. He picks the win up in front of, I forgot to mention, 51 people in Rochester. Now Black Dragon got a 34, Jannetty a 26. They did have good chemistry in the match. They did get the crowd hotter. David Marquez was the road agent, giving Stevie Wonderful the match off, but he didn't do any better than Stevie did. The match did get the crowd hotter. That is what we needed to have happen. But white hot after this match is going to be good. Black Dragon wins for the second time, as I said, in a Three Ropes ring, and he has also led off both shows with wins. Moving on, We have got a segment rating of 21 for Devon Storm and Troy Mest. Devon Storm defeats Troy Mest with the Eye of the Storm. Mest gets a 12, Storm a 32. This is just a continuation of last show when the two teams, Chaz Taylor and Devon Storm, took on Troy Mest and his brother, in kayfabe at least, Mark. So Mark Mest will take on Chaz Taylor later on in the show. We're just trying to continue this little chemistry here and see what we've got in this tag team bout between these guys. Really a rating of 21, not bad. Troy Mest is the better worker, I think, of the Intimidators between him and Troy, or between him and Mark. So we'll take that. Now, Marquez comes to the ring with a microphone next. He announces that Three Ropes Wrestling is officially launching a championship tournament. He explains the full details, and participants will be revealed next week, and confirm that the winner will become the very first Three Ropes Wrestling champion. It drew a strong crowd reaction, even though in the game it didn't. It simmered down the crowd a little bit because it was just David Marquez out there with a microphone. I wish you could put in this game the subject matter. I wish that the title would be a character, so that if we're talking about the title, it's at least something of matter. But either way, David Marquez struggled with his microphone skills here. He doesn't really do much of this. He just came out to announce something official. We might get a commissioner now that I see this rating is a 0. We might get a commissioner to handle all of the official business for Three Ropes Wrestling, and at least be an on-screen commissioner, because this segment rating is obviously not going to cut it. All right, Chaz Taylor, as I said, takes on Mark Mest. He defeats Mark Mest in 5 minutes and 42 seconds. He defeated him by submission somehow. I just put for Chaz Taylor to win the match, not by submission. I don't know if that would have been the right call, but either way, it got the crowd hotter. A segment rating of 17, as Marquez brought the crowd almost to a dead halt with the championship announcement, which, again, I've already talked about that. But Chaz Taylor gets a 36, Mest an 11. Mark Mest did seem off his game in this match, but the crowd is hotter, so we're going to take it. Now, the popcorn match, so to speak, the one before the main event, and about that had decent wrestling, didn't have much heat because they really don't have any history. Kodiak Bear defeated Reno Riggins. We did use the creative finish that we got from Kodiak Bear, so it will be a 19 rating for both of these. They did not seem to click, these two. Reno Riggins is basically somebody that we're going to keep in the mid-card, I think, but he's going to help people that we want to get higher than the mid-card over, help put them over. So Reno Riggins does his job. Kodiak Bear does his job. The Lumberjack gimmick got an initial rating of great, which is awesome for us. Kodiak Bear and Reno Riggins, like I said, did not click, but the match got the show and the 51 people in attendance hotter, which is great. We want to leave the crowd white hot. So that was the follow-up. Now in our main event, Rick Fuller did defeat Ace Steel. Underhanded tactics, foot on the rope. Ace Steel very frustrated afterwards, kicking the bottom rope and yelling at the referee in frustration. Ace Steel is still a face, but you can see the frustration as he did not get the win for Lance Storm. He did punch Rick Fuller in the face. He did make good on that promise, but he couldn't get the victory tonight. Rick Fuller, 2-0 in Three Ropes Wrestling, beating our two top faces. So that's going to make him the number one heel right now in Three Ropes Wrestling. Beats Ace Storm. Storm got a 20, Fuller a 21. It did advance the Storm and Fuller storyline, which it should have. So segment rating of 18, which was not our best show or our best main event at all. The show overall will get a rating of 17. That is worse than last show, I believe. And the show did increase our popularity in one region, that is the Tri-State region, just because we had a show. Our front three are very good. Our last four are very bad. That is backwards booking on my part, apparently. Just means that we need to get Fuller over more. Kodiak did debut, and he didn't really click with Reno, so I'd like to see him in a match where he does click with somebody. That will be a good match, I think. David Marquez brought the crowd to a 0. I know the segment rating is a 0, but the crowd was almost basically non-existent after that, so that hurt us as well. But we will finish up. We will address the locker room. We do want to give Kodiak praise for a great debut. I do believe that, and I also think Ace Steel, we can give him some encouragement. He did have a little bit of a rough night on the microphone. He did have a rough night in the ring, so we're going to give him that. Kodiak seemed pleased, as did Ace Steel, so both of them will be happy with that. The financial report is in, and boy, did we lose money. $1,178 we lost. Oh my goodness. No, we made $9 in merchandise. I think 2 people bought a Snickers bar. No, that'd be an expensive Snickers, wouldn't it? The workers are costing us $460. We need to book earlier and ahead of time. That way we can know who we need on the show, and we can tell everybody else to stay home. That will save us. It won't save us $1,178, but it will save us something. And when we're losing that much and paying $460 in workers, I think we have to look at that. Ticket sales were at $357 for, I think it was 51 people, if I remember correctly. The show costs $305. That was the venue for $200, and the miscellaneous show $20 overall, and $85. I don't know how to. Oh, overall. I don't know why. What does overall mean? Either way, we had to pay it. $85. Marketing for the show, posters, that kind of thing that you hang at the grocery store. That is $52 that it costs us, and an overall loss of $451 this show. Okay, I read that wrong. Now we have a total show post money is negative $1,178. I don't want to go under $5,000. I think we're gonna very quickly, and that scares me. But I think that we'll be able to get, as we grow in popularity, we'll be able to get more people in, and should help us out. But we have to do better shows. Now, the popularity recap, did we gain or did we not? We didn't. Okay, so we still are a 0 after 2 shows. Might have to think about, and this is just me thinking on the fly, maybe bringing in a name and keeping everybody else at home, because at least then we're not paying for them to sit in the back. Mo, for instance, didn't even have a match tonight, and they cost, I think, about $40 to bring in tonight. So we can save a lot of money doing that. And I think that we should, and maybe reallocate the funds of bringing in workers who aren't going to work, and instead spending them on a name who might bring us some notoriety, might be able to get one of our talents over, might be able to produce a storyline. Either way, going to produce a better rating on the show. So that is our show. No media scrum, because we are not that big. Nobody cares. We have a 0 popularity. 51 people were in attendance. I would venture a guess and say that there are many more people at a WWE press conference than there are at a 3 Ropes Wrestling live event. But either way, that is it. Savage is fully fit. He was hurt for a couple days, but he will be back in the WWF ring very soon, and we will be back next week. Guys, thank you so much for hanging out, and if you did like the video, please hit the subscribe button. It helps a ton. We are on our way to 100 by the summer. That is what we're hoping for. 100 subscribers by the summer. Let's hope to get that. Next week, next Sunday, we will have another show, and we'll see if Lance Storm's back. I don't know. I know that Ace Storm is angry. I know that Rick Fuller is gloating in the back. And I know that you have to check out next show, because the next show, I think, might be our best show. Guys, thanks so much for hanging out. I'll catch you next week.